Right, good morning. Got to say a big thanks to everybody the other day that commented on the video on how to lay porcelain, and kind of appreciates the comment about the camera. The footage was good. So here we are. So this is where we are now. We've got some of the paving down. So the idea is, you can see we've got a black banding course around the outside there. There's the black banding course. We're going to run down there and run down both sides. Now the idea is that we're going to have a circle in the middle of this area here and here, and the circle is going to be done with the same paving, okay? But what we're going to do with the circle, we're going to lay that at a 45-degree angle, and then what we're going to be having to define the circle, we're going to have a 75mm by 75mm dark, this color brick. So we've got to cut those up as well. So that brick edge is going to go, or tile, whatever you want to call it with porcelain, is going to define the circle. So grey, black, grey, and the inner piece is going to be at a 45. So this is the centre of the circle. This is going to be where we're going to stroke our radius from, okay? But what we're going to do now, if we come over here, Carl, for the viewers to see, we've marked the centre of the slab here, okay? There's the centre. We've got a pencil mark on there because our first slab is going to be the one whole slab right where that pin is, okay? But we need to measure now from this point to here and from that point to there. So we know exactly, and from here, we know exactly where that position is, and it will relate to that cross on that slab. So let's get on with that bit. We got it. Look, like I said, somebody wanted a little bit more detail when we're laying. So what we've got here now, you can see where we've got the back of the slab slurried now. This is going to be, there's going to be a circle around here. So we're overlaying, and then what we'll do, we'll overlay, and then we'll cut out, we'll create the circle after as we go. You know, you could say that you could put the brick edge around first, but that's not necessarily for me on this project here. So if you look now, what we're using here, we're using is it 4.5, 5 to 1, isn't it? 5 to 1 basically, and that's all con sand, okay, which is what you use for concreting with chip-ins. So this is all sharp sand completely, it's con sand, and there's no soft sand in there at all. We've got a little bit of feb, haven't we? Yeah. A plasticized, and we use feb, the concentrated one, and it's the little thing, bottle that you squirt, if Andrew gets that in a moment. So what we're doing here, I'm gonna just show you this now. Carl wants to come a little bit closer. So this is what we're actually using as the Bostik one. There you are. I couldn't remember the name of it. Then basically you just take the top off, and then take the top off, squeeze it up to where you want. You have to make sure you read the instructions, don't take my word for it, but that's what we're using as a feb. And we're not putting a huge amount of water in there, are we? So there's our mortar down. What I normally do is I take the slab and I lay it nice and tight, okay, especially with this porcelain. Lay it tight, just give it a bit of a push down, and then I pick it back up and I have a look to see where I haven't got enough muck in places. And by the time this gets squashed down, this is going to be all right, to be honest, because that wasn't fully down there. So just put that on there like so. Now get the slab back on, okay. What I normally do sometimes is, once I've put the muck down on the ground, what will happen is the moisture will start going down straight away into the ground, and then that will allow you to be able to tap it down. But when it's a little bit wet at first, when you first put it down, what happens is it sort of wobbles around a little bit. But we've got that down now, and like I said, I lay the paving tight first, like so. This is what I do, okay. Then I'll get my level for here now. We'll run that across there. See what we got for height, and as you can see, it's way too high on there, so you can see that those voids that I would have had underneath that slab are going to be taken up now completely. There we are. Give it a tap, you can see the muck coming out. There's nothing on the side of here now. Now we're starting to hit, so what you need to do is to get down in place. There you are. That's perfect. Sort of. we've got to remember, if you're tapping down that side, it's going to come up on that side, so it's like a seesaw effect. Now, what I can actually do, now I can start putting my spacers in. These spacers, what we're actually using here, are a 7mm spacer, and the reason that I'm using a 7mm spacer, because I feel that when you're laying tiling and porcelain inside, they're using 5mm and 3mm, and some are using 5mm outside, but I really feel that the grout doesn't get right down into the joint, and that's not good at all. You want the grout to get right the way down, and when you have a tight joint, and you'd agree with me on that, wouldn't you? Yeah. That the grout doesn't get down. So by having a 7mm, we make sure that the grout gets all the way in. So even though I've laid these, I can still go back to these now and drop that across there. Have a look underneath. Okay, we've run string lines with the outer edges, so we know what we're working to. We don't need to necessarily put a string line on this, but you can see, yeah, I tap the level then, but it's just a little bit. It can make that much of an effect on it. And then roll that side. There's a little bit of a lip there, and I'm just gonna get down underneath here, have a look there, and it just wants, there we are there. And I'll probably revisit that later. But what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna make sure that all that paving is wiped down and clean. Well, there we are. We've got the marked the center of that slab there. Now, this is the radius. This is where our first cut is going to be. And what I would suggest, just do one at a time, but making sure that you maintain the same position with your tape the next time. Sorry about the noise of the wind, but you can see we've cut that one over there, that side there. That slab just there, that one there, I'm not cutting that because we've only just laid that. But these have all been laid for a few days, so we've got that circle going round on here now. So we better cut those. Well, if you come a bit closer, Kyle, they've got to know who you are now as my cameraman. If you can hear the noise in the background, that's as Andy's cutting these 75 by 75mm little bricks sets out. So what I'm actually doing here is, you can see where the brick sets run round. So what we're doing is, we've got a mortar, decent mortar, and we're slurrying the back like this. Got a very thin bed there. And then we're just putting those on like so, if you can just see that now. And then what I'm doing is running the level through there with it forward, and then just pushing them down into place, the same as that one there. But what we are doing is ensuring that we've got this 7mm gap all the way around. Some people would say, well, why don't you just put a concrete bed down? But the budget on this job doesn't allow a concrete base here, and you can do it almost like tiling there. So if we look at that one out, that one's just gone over a little bit there. But the problem we're having now is it's starting to rain. So we're going to have to probably just get over here and probably knock it on the head, clean it up. It's not worth compromising it.